This week, a series of demolitions has begun at one of Bali's most popular surf breaks. So in this video, we're going to dive into what the hell is actually going on at Bingin. So to best understand this, we've got to first take a quick history lesson. After surfers became bored with Kuta and the various breaks around that area, they began searching Bali's shores for something better, roaming deeper and deeper into the Bukit Peninsula in search of new waves. While Uluwatu had gained international recognition, many of the area's now renowned breaks remained hidden for a few more years. Among them was Bingin, located at the end of an overgrown jungle trail and accessible only by gnarly cliff descents, where surfers had to lower their boards down there via rope. At the base of the cliff was a magical mechanical left-hander that shaped and groomed Indian Ocean swells into perfect cylindrical left-hand tubes. So once waves were discovered around the Bukit, more and more caught wind of the break at Bingin, and eventually a small surf community established itself on the cliff. With no electricity or running water, the community thrived on surf culture and mutual reliance. Early stays were minimal, comprising bamboo huts, mat floors, and nasi goreng. But as surfing popularity exploded across Bali, more surfers began visiting, and over the decades that followed, Bingin had transformed from a sleepy surfing outpost to a cliffside packed full of trendy cafes, luxury villas, and Instagram photos of acai bowls. And by the 2020s, Bingin was even more hectic, and the cliffside became increasingly crowded, with more villas and businesses springing up all over the place. But a lot of the development that happened at Bingin was unchecked and informal, with little to no regulatory oversight. Bali's zoning laws, established under the island's regional spatial plan, divide land into specific categories to manage sustainable development and environmental protection. A green zone is reserved strictly for agriculture, conservation, and cultural preservation. Construction and commercial use here are prohibited. Yellow zones are designated for residential use and limited homestays, while red zones are allocated for tourism and commercial infrastructure like hotels, cafes, and resorts. So Bingin actually falls into a pink zone, an area exclusively used for tourism purposes, including the building of hotels, villas, and cafes. However, development in any zone requires a formal permit. Violating these regulations can result in demolition orders and legal action, particularly right now as Bali is intensifying its crackdowns on unregulated construction and foreign-owned properties using nominee arrangements, where Indonesian citizens hold official land titles on behalf of foreign investors, an arrangement that is illegal and now under scrutiny. Platforms like Airbnb have also amplified the issue by fueling demand for unlicensed rentals. So throughout May and June this year, unannounced inspections were conducted at Bingin, and they found over 40 illegal structures, including villas, cafes, and hotels. So the big question that's on everyone's mind is, why now? Why has the Indonesian government picked this week to demolish these businesses? Now, many locals state that these demolitions are selective and unfairly targeted, as many other businesses that break such laws still stand around Bali and around the rest of Indonesia. So obviously, it's super sad to lose any iconic businesses on top of world-class surf breaks. You know, some of these businesses have been serving surfers for decades, you know, in some cases long before these rules were even drawn up. And what's really sad about this one is how much it affects the locals. So it's not just business owners, but approximately 1,000 local Balinese people live and work in and around the cliff area at Bingin. So obviously it's absolutely devastating for them. You know, if you do want to help the cause, there's a petition that I'll leave down in the description that you can sign, and that can potentially help, you know, put a stop to things, or at least help the locals with legal battles and things like that. So what's going on now at Bingin reflects a wider governmental issue. Under-resourced agencies, fragmented oversight, and systemic zoning mismanagement are all at play. task forces threaten to spread enforcement across Uluwatu and the entire Bukit Peninsula. Surfers and locals are calling for a vision beyond the teardown, a plan that not only safeguards livelihoods, but provides legal relocation and ensures sustainable tourism. Bingin's journey mirrors Bali's, a leap from a sleepy surfing gem to a social and environmental pressure point. Today, the wave itself remains as perfect as ever, but on land, the future of Bingin hangs in the balance.